All right, all right. We will wait 1 minute for everybody to get on because we had 32 people sign up for this. How is everybody today? Roger, nice to see you.
Hi, I'm
Cece,
good.
haven't
I'm
seen you
wonderful.
for a while.
I know. How are you?
Good. Maya, I'm not sure I know you, do I? Awesome. Oh, look, I love the fact that, Kelly, I love it. I love the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Where am I putting? I'm going to get some Christmas lights while we're waiting for just a moment. I forgot how to find them. I had them last year all on, so
Go down to by the camera
yeah,
and pull up their background filters.
background filters. Okay, background filters. Well, I'm not going to make everybody wait for me while I find that, so we will get started. Here it is 10:02. Thank you for being, oh shoot, I turned my video off. Okay, hey, thanks for everybody for being here. Let me get the chat going. Okay, hi Debbie. Listen, Sandy and I were talking last week, and and she was talking about all this amazing re-engagement campaign and follow-up and things like that. And I said, how would you like to do a free training how would you like to do a free training, Sandy, for everybody here? And she's like, I'd love to do a free training for everybody here. So please let me welcome, and I'm going to spotlight her so that when Sandy, I'm assuming you're going to share your screen, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight Sandy. So if you can't see anybody else, don't worry about it. We're all still here, and I'll be watching.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. We have not sent you a check.
Okay, so let's mute yourselves mute yourself if as you're listening. Okay, thank you. All right, and here we go. So you guys, please welcome Sandy Zeiszler. She is a Keap expert. And listen, I paid to have a call with her last week. She did an amazing job, gave me exactly what I needed to know, more work than I really want to do myself. And I cannot wait to see what she has to share with us today. So Sandy, take it away.
Well, I so appreciate it, Jean. Can I just check to see I've got the screen on? You can see my screen for the fortunes and the follow-up. Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Always fun with technology. So hello, everybody. My name is Sandy Zeiszler. I come to you from Plymouth, Minnesota, where we just got snow and rain, which I'm sure a lot of you around the world did as well. I relaunched my business in February of 2022, and I wanted to provide a real solution where I was able to come alongside entrepreneurs to help them implement email marketing, automation, lead gen, and of course, a follow-up system. When I relaunched, I wanted to make sure that I was a really great, successful entrepreneur. And part of it, what I realized was that the follow-up was missing. I had lists and names and piles of business cards, and there was just a huge opportunity that I just threw in the trash. So opportunities that have that, and I'll share a couple stories as I go along today. We have about 45 minutes. And so I like to talk fast. My friends tell me to slow down. So I'm going to try to slow down just a little bit. But I have a lot to cover, and I want a lot to cover. And I know that Jean is recording this, so you'll get the copy of that as well. And so please feel free to, and maybe Jean can kind of keep an eye on the chat. And if you have questions, we will have time at the end for some Q&A as well. All right. I want to just go ahead and dive right in. Why fortunes in the follow-up? Why focus on this? Because, and we all know this, we're not, we've been in the game of this for many, many, many years, but really it's about 2% of leads close on the first touch. Okay. So I heard on a podcast a couple months ago, and I can't remember, I was driving to Chicago and I was listening to a bunch of podcasts, and of course didn't write things down because I was driving, but there was a presenter that talked about, he had a huge room of audience, 10,000 people, and asked, who here came to buy something? And nobody raised their hand. Right. But when he asked who came here to sell, everybody raised their hands, right? We're all here because we are hoping to make a sale, but nobody's there to buy when you're networking or at an event or at a conference, right?
Right.
So we have to shift our mindset on that a little bit. And that's where the follow-up, you get that business card, you jot their name down, you record it, and you log some time after the event for an hour, for 2, for 3 hours, whatever it's going to take to follow up with that person. Initiate that follow-up and start a conversation. Hey, it was great seeing you. I know life got busy. How have you been? What did you take away from the event? What did you learn? Or tell them what you've learned. Start a conversation, continue that conversation. And that goes for both in-person and Zooms. We save the chat. There's a reason you save the chat. We, for the first year of Zoom, everybody's like, oh, save the chat, save the chat. But nobody knew what to do with it. I've actually had several people ask me, well, what do I do with that chat? Or how do I find it? It's on your hard drive. It's saved on your computer. And if you just search, you can find that. It's under text or save chat. But if you have questions on that, let me know. We can help you find on your computer. But that information's there. Go back for 6 months and find that information. Okay. How often should you follow up? Immediately after, 24 to 48 hours, immediately after meeting somebody, because you told them probably when you met them, hi, my name is Sandy Zeiszler. What's your name? What do you do? Great. Let's continue the conversation. I'll check back with you. You probably said that, right? You said you would follow up, but then we lack in that follow-up. And then set a reminder 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, annually. Or really the big, more important thing, it doesn't have to be that specific or, that time frame, but really importantly is before they buy from somebody else. Okay, that's the most important thing. They may not realize what they need, or they may not have told you what they need, but just kind of follow up and take notes on that information and make notes in your calendar or in your reminders. I actually had somebody that I had talked to probably a year ago. She was interested in the Keap platform, or she had been using it and wanted some additional training. I did follow up with her a couple of times, but then there was a gap that I didn't. And all of a sudden I saw her in a closed Facebook group on the Keap certified partner list. And I thought, when did she become a certified partner? I lost out on a lot of money. And I was really disappointed, but I thought it was my fault because I didn't follow up with her. I'm like, that's awesome that you're here. Great. Good seeing you. But oops, I lost out probably about $5,000 on her. That's a lot of money that I could have used as bringing her in as a partner. All right. So make sure you follow up with people until they say, you know what, I'm really not interested. Leave me alone. Right. Until they say absolutely no, 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 no. All right. Ways to follow up. Don't forget about picking up the phone. We all have a cell phone. It still exists. We can make phone calls. When you do, just say, hey, do you have a minute to talk? If this isn't a good time, when is a good time? Would tomorrow at 2 o'clock be better? Okay, take notes. Text messaging, it depends on your audience. I know that Jean really loves text messaging. She's better on text than she is on email. Okay, know your audience. Email, some people answer emails within 24 hours or within an hour. What, Jean, did you have to add something? And you're on mute.
Yeah. No, you know me. I don't like text messaging. I like email, but go ahead.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, you've said that, if you need something immediately, text me. So
Yeah, I don't like it, but go ahead.
we don't like it. We just have to work with it. I know. Yeah. So just kind of know that. Facebook, Instagram messages, how are people? You're all over the place. Go where your audience is. LinkedIn. I taught LinkedIn for 12 years. I still teach and consult on LinkedIn. It's a great way to connect with business professionals. Of course, we have the mail. We still have snail mail. Isn't it fun to go get a card in the mail? Something exciting other than those bills and those annoying other things that we get, ads and stuff. Send a thank you card. Hey, it was great meeting you. Send a birthday card or giving thanks over Thanksgiving, or now it's a holiday, or maybe even a New Year card. Okay, there's programs that can help you with that. All right, tracking. That's why we came here, is because it's about tracking. I created and kind of modified a tracking sheet that I had found and updated it for myself and my clients. I use this for my clients that they are able to now track their follow-up. It gives you a place in a Google Sheet. So we're all familiar with Google. We have Google Sheets. You can export it out as an Excel file if you need to as well, if you're more of an Excel person. But it helps you monitor and track when they happen. In here, when you put the date that you met, I have a formula already created that says 24 hours, 1 week, and what the dates are. It'll formulate that for you. So now you don't have to do the math yourself. But then just kind of come in here. So when you have an hour marked on your calendar to do follow-up every Monday, you have a list of who to follow up with. I hear all the time from people, and I'm just as guilty. I don't know who to follow up with. And I know that, my other business coach, and Jean will tell me too, as a business coach, she'll be like, call your top 20 people. Well, I'm like, I can't think of it 20 people. I don't know 20 people. You have a list, right? It's ready to go. hundreds of people. And when I stop sharing in a minute, I'll be able to put this link. Actually, I might even be able to put that in a link now in the chat for you. So I'm going to give that away today free. I have a lot of free offers today that I'm giving away. So thank you, Jean, for putting this together and sponsoring it for me, so I can offer these to you as attendees. So you'll just have to make a copy of that sheet. So then, oops, I lost my screen. Okay, back to the presentation. All right, so download that, take a look at it. You're welcome, Kelly. And, play with the information. I have some stuff in there a little bit more advanced in Excel and Google Sheets. So if you have questions, we can always do a consultation call later on. All right, I'm going to take a inventory of the people in the audience. And I probably should have done that at first, but who here has a Keap program already? If you want to just put in the chat, I have Keap. You raise your hand. Yep, we got a number of people that have the Keap application already. So I really want to talk about that more in focus. That's really what this was about, is that those that have Keap, it's a platform. So those that don't, it's going to show you a little bit what you can do in the program. Yes, and a Google Sheet's a perfect place to start, because you still need to know your systems. You need to know that you're going to follow up this person, whether it's a piece of paper, but we lose paper, but track and figure out what your process is going to be, because each person looks a little different, or the way you work is a little bit different. And those that don't have Keap, we will hook you up on this information later. And Jean can probably put her affiliate link in the chat, and I'll let you have that link if you're interested, or talk to me later and I can get you hooked up with Keap as a certified partner. I didn't really talk about that, but a little over a year and a half ago, I became a certified partner, took the certification course, and it's really accelerated my business, and it's really helped me to be able to help my clients, because I get access to the inner circle of other partners, and they have been so wonderful. It's like a big family. And I look forward to my call every Friday afternoon with some of the partners. There's a little small group of us that get together every Friday afternoon and just chat and get to know each other. But then we can ask any trouble questions that we have, because everybody has a different situation. So I'm going to talk about what Keap does. And I know that in Jean's promo, she talked about the copy generator and that robot generator, right? We wanted to learn all about that. So I want to kind of leave a lot of time for that robot, that new system about copy generator, that intelligent copy generation that it can do for us. So it's pretty awesome. So instead of having an Excel spreadsheet, we can use our tracking in Keap. So what can you do with that? There's a easy way to have custom fields, and I'm going to use the Keap Pro and /Max version. So if anybody like Jean, and I think Cheryl may even have the classic version, this is going to look a little different for you. So we can talk about those later. But this is going to be the Pro version. So if those that aren't quite familiar with the way it looks, might be a little different for you. But the same functionality is in the classic version. Okay, so the functionality is still there. It just looks a little different. Custom fields you can create, and that's why I chose Keap over looking at some of the other platforms. Some of the other platforms I looked for CRM or customer relationship management tools, they didn't allow you to customize the fields. It said the drop downs would be, I met them on a radio ad or a TV ad. I'm like, I'm a solopreneur. I'm not going to run a TV ad. I want to put in there that I met him at a networking event or at Jean's conference or at, whatever it might be, down the street or at the grocery store. So that gives you customized fields with drop down lists. So I can create drop down lists. I can use checkboxes. I can use text fields and others. But the most fun thing is automation. Okay. We automate. Yes, I know follow-up is a one-to-one communication, and it needs to be building relationships. I'm about that one-to-one building relationships, but that doesn't mean you can't automate things. I put somebody in here and it's going to automatically tag them and say follow up in 1 day. It'll put me a reminder in the system to follow up with that person in 1 day, or I can program to be at 1 week based off of a button that I pushed in the form. I'm going to share a form in a little bit, and I've got the back end automated. My speaking card, I automated it because I'm on Zoom and I can't hand out physical cards to you to fill out a speaker's card. You've been to conferences where they hand out a speaker's card in person. Well, I translate that to automation, and I've got a section on there that I ask you questions. Based off of your questions, you're going to get delivered a certain email. my work is already done for me, so I can go on about my day after this meeting. All right, so talk about custom fields. And then we're going to talk about automation, my favorite. I know it said automation. So this is a little form that I created, and I call it my digital handshake. So I met somebody at an event virtually. I'm still doing Zoom. 99% of my day is on meeting people on Zoom still. And when I put their information in here, I'll say, yes, send them the email for the one-to-one. It fills in the blank that I filled in the information. There's called dynamic fields, meaning that I can choose, did I meet them at my Refine meeting, or did I meet them at my VT meeting or at my BNI? And it'll fill in that blank for them. It'll say, hi, first name, great to meet you at XYZ event. And it'll fill in that name for me. And then that information can get auto-populated in the email that goes out with a link to my one-to-one calendar for them to book an appointment. If they haven't booked an appointment with me in the next 24 hours, it'll send them a second email. Hey, did you forget? It was great meeting you. I know life gets busy. And then it can go on from that. So it kind of just reminders and an automation. Cheryl, you have a quick question. Is that related to the automation and custom fields?
It is. So before you move on, I had a question.
Yes.
So I'm looking, excuse me, I'm looking at this digital handshake form, and I don't see where, maybe I'm just missing it. I
Okay.
don't see where you put in where you met them.
I didn't do a full screenshot of that, but on the
Okay.
next question, I have a little field that says I met you at, and it's just a drop down.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
do have that. I just don't have it screenshotted. I couldn't, it's only so big.
That's all right. I just wanted to know
Yep.
kind of the logistics of it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
if anybody wants to, I obviously work with my clients one-to-one, and in a training class, I have an opportunity at the end that I'm gonna do a 6-week course on Keap, and this will be one of them that we'll set up, is this digital handshake in your application with your custom where you met them at. So yes, it's a little bit of a process on the back end to set that up, but you can customize it for yourself. This isn't like a pre-defined form in Keap. I created this form in Keap. And so
you can also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
That's okay.
interrupt you.
go ahead.
You can also do it from your mobile device, because that's how I remember it working.
Yes.
You're meeting somebody, you can do it on your mobile app, and it will automatically send them a invitation.
A message.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do the forms on your phone. There's a Keap app that you can enter information. You can also scan business cards on the Keap app as well. So it's really nice. So when we are back in person, you can scan their business cards. Of course, based on their business cards, the success rate depends on what they have on their business cards and how designed they are. Jean, you have a quick question. You have your hand up.
Yeah, well, you just brought up another question, but on with the Keap app, which I do have, do I have access to this piece of it in my version of Keap
It'll look a little bit different in your version.
on my desktop or on the app?
On both. Well, the app version is the same, but the desktop version will look a little different. But you will have access to forms on your you might not be able to do exactly the exact same forms on your app. I'm so used to doing it on my, I'm sorry, I'm so used to just doing it on the computer. So,
Right. I
but
know
the
you're
app,
like
you can do
really
different
creating,
things.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wondering, I want to make sure. So do me a favor, just if you can't do it on Macs, let me know, okay? Let us know.
Okay, I will find out. Yeah, you
Okay.
can still you can create custom forms on the Mac on the classic version.
But I had forgotten about the app that you could do that, but I didn't know if I could still do that on the app.
Yeah, I'll double check on the classic version for the app and see if that's
Okay.
different. That I don't know the answer to. I will find that out for you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay, let's talk a little bit more. Time goes so fast. And if you have your hand up, kind of just either put in the chat, or if Jean can kind of watch. I've got
I'm watching.
minimal screen. Okay, thank you.
Watching. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, we have okay, never mind, go
Is
ahead.
another question? No? Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Organize and segment. So when I take somebody in the Keap, when I put them in, I tag them where I met them or what they were interested in. So, you know, I talk about and I coach on maybe somebody has classic and I know that. So I'm going to tag them that they're a Keap classic person. So they're going to get different information. The Keap classic was the old original, not the old, but the previous Infusionsoft version of Keap. And that's been around for 15 years. So they just created the Pro and Max to bring in for a new updated version, probably about 5-6 years ago, for more smaller entrepreneurs. And so they've just streamlined the process a little bit, but they're keeping the classic version out there for people that are in that version. So when you tag them, and yes, you can tag in both versions, and segment your people based on the interests. Are they interested in the classic or the pro version? Are they interested in my done for you or done with you service? I see Sherry's on the phone. Are they interested in pens, or are they interested in, business uniforms for their audience? Do they need uniforms versus just do they have a staff? Mark them as clients versus prospects or hot leads. Are they a hot lead or a warm lead or a cold lead? So then that way you can deliver the correct content to them based on that segment and nurturing sequence that you set up. Okay. And then in the, and yes, in the classics, I'll just kind of put that for the couple of you that are in classic, you can do pipeline and tasks just slightly different, but they do exist in the classic version. But for those that have pro, then you can set up a task reminder, and this is what it'll look like on your app. I can set up my day. So when I mentioned that, I said, when I meet somebody, set me up a reminder or a task to remind me in 24 hours, 48 hours, 1 week, 3 months, whatever it might be, to follow up with that person. So I can do it automatically. Or then when I have that call and they say, hey, you know what, today's not a very good day for me. Could you check back in with me in a month? Where did you write that information when they said, hey, check back with me in a month? Did you write it on a Post-it note? Probably, right? I'm just as guilty as writing things as a Post-it note. And it takes time to practice and to get your brain to focus in on the Keap application. Because while I'm on the phone with somebody, I can type in notes into the Keap app on the system in the computer, and I can take notes on the app as well. It's not as easy to thumb type while you're talking to somebody, but you can do it as well. And then set up an assignment to remind you in the future to follow up with them. Pipeline is not available on the app. Pipelines, and they look a little bit different in the classic version. Yours it's more of a sales process, so you're not going to get this beautiful flow. But those that have Pro and Max or are interested in it, any new people I usually bring into Pro that sign up for the app. You have an actual physical pipeline, and it moves you from the steps from left to right. You can click and drag the people. So they're a new prospect. I put them in the new lead opportunity. I move them then to make an appointment with them. What phase are they in? So just like my Google Sheet that I have about the follow-up, this actually lets you have a visual of where the people are at. I know now today that I have to send 3 quotes to people, or that their work is in progress. And you can have multiple workflows. I have a workflow for my clients because I know that they're in a project. I have a workflow for leads. And then I have a workflow for, I was at the turnaround conference. So I met people at the turnaround conference. So I have a specific workflow for those that I met so that I can follow up with them on that 1-year plan that I've designed for myself. I customize the workflow, which is really nice that they're going to get followed up with. All right. You're going to get a re-engagement campaign just by filling out my form at the end here. I don't want you to have that information quite yet, but there's a re-engagement campaign. So have you forgotten about some people, right? We have a list of maybe 20, 50, 100, 300 people in our database. Re-engage with them. It's a great opportunity. Hey, happy holidays. How is your 2020 going to end? Or what is your goal for 2023? Ask them a question and get them on your calendar. Ask them to reply back to you. And I have a script for that. I have some samples that I'll send you at the end of the meeting here. I'll get everybody's email addresses. And then you can get that and set it up in your Keap app. Or if you want to, if you don't have it, I'll send you the scripts and you can do it in Word in your email program for those that don't have the automation. But it's a great way to quickly, yep. Jean's excited about the automation. That's why she's like, oh, I need that. So we're going to get the automation set up in her app. All right. The big thing announcement that I absolutely love. I have never really felt that I was very good at writing. And so it's held me back for many, many, many years of writing emails and social media posts. And I still struggle with it, but I've been better at doing it because of the new thing called AI, artificial intelligence. There are several programs out there, and it seems to be the new wave. One of my favorite before this came out in Keap was, and still is Jasper.ai. It writes the content for you. It's not perfect, but it gives you some really starting points. And for me, it helps me write my content faster. And I take what it gives back to me. It'll ask you a series of questions, and it spits out that content in a sentence or paragraph format. But come to Keap's content copy generator is go to plays.keap.com for those that have the app. It'll ask you to log in to your program with your username and password, and then you'll get the information. I'm just going to have this for the recording as well, so you can watch this back. Log in and then select a template. And we're going to actually go to the live version here in a second. And I'll show you how it actually works live. So then you can have the plays, log in, select a template. There's a whole bunch of different templates based off of your category. If you have a lead magnet, we all should have a lead magnet, collect leads from your website, give them a free offer. If you have questions on any of this, we can certainly do a consultation call. I just kind of was reading at the chat. Amanda, yes, you can do tasks. If your employee has a user account in Keap, you can assign it to your users in that app for that purpose. And so then you'll answer a series of questions, and you use it in your own app because it develops your content. So some of it starts artificially knowing your audience and what kind of content. So it knows with my app that I am all about follow-up and lead gen and automation. In Lynn's world, she's all about the horses and the tours and the outdoors and all of that. Her app will learn all of that information, those words. So the better and longer you put in there, the more information you put in, the better quality you're going to get out. So I'm going to change my screen here a minute, stop sharing and change, so I can actually go into the app and show you where that's at and how it works. Okay, so I've already gone into plays.keap.app, logged into my account, and then let's go back a minute to the play templates. The ones that you've created, I've created all these other plays already. Some of them I've just been playing with it. But go to the plays template and you can see all of the templates are available. There's different categories, and then of course there's more in each. It's just giving you the top 3. So there's a lot more. If I just say filter, show all plays, these are all the opportunities you have that it'll write. So a checklist builder, a webinar, attendee follow-up. This would have been a great opportunity for Jean to run this webinar follow-up play or automatic generated content to now follow up with everybody after this event. So he's like, well, what do I say in my emails? What do I say on a landing page? What do I put in there? And the worst is, and my clients are like, what do I say in the email content? This gives you that layout. So I'm going to go back up here to my plays, and I started one here so I can just show you a little bit. It's going to ask you some information about your company and your customer persona. And if you have questions about customer persona, Jean is great at that, helping you identify who your niche is. Mine is female, 35 to 65, business owners, entrepreneurs, small business, women. So you just kind of have to have those keywords in there. Okay. So it'll be able to identify the wording for that audience. So then, and that information stays in there because that's your ideal audience. The lead magnet then is going to ask me some questions. It says, enter 3 to 5 problems you'll address in your lead magnet. I'll address lack of sales, too many systems, overwhelmed with technology, lack of energy because you're tired of reinventing all of this stuff, lack of time. Okay, that's the problem that I'm going to solve, the pain points that my audience has. The next question is emotional issues. We'll address with the lead magnet. Enter 3 painful statements you've heard females say. Okay. With my follow-up process I need my follow-up process to be simplified and not cost me any money. Okay. I wish I understood Keap better to maximize the features. Those are things that I hear people say. And so you want to put that information in here. And then other people say, don't, so you'll customize this for yourself and what your client specifically needs. Enter the lead magnet details. It asks you a series of questions. What type of lead magnet are you offering? I mean, offering a free guide to follow up. What's the name of it? What the lead magnet will teach you, why and how to follow up, and then stop leaving money on the table. And then it'll ask for the URL. By taking the link URL, you don't have to have it exactly. It's just basically going to put that fill it in the script, and you can change that later if you need to. And it's not, once you've done this, it's not going to like, oh, now it's going to email everybody. You can modify it. Okay. So don't worry about it just like automatically sending it out to the world. It won't happen. So it's just filling in the blanks for you. Okay. So now on the left-hand side, it gives me the information, my landing page, free guide to follow up, 5 things to do after your networking. It gave me that information because that's what I told it. Discover why and how you should follow up. This is a powerful guide, free guide to follow up. You'll get all of the details you need to stop leaving money on the table. Go ahead, enter your name and primary email address and click the send me free guide to follow up button. It laid it out for me. Is that cool? Really, really cool. This was amazing for me. It just helps me save so much time of, gosh, what are those words? What are those power statements? I would have never come up with, go ahead and enter your name. I mean, like, hey, enter your name, please. I mean, it just doesn't sound the same, right? Because I just kind of get stuck in that. All right. And then you can change this. Of course, you can change this. You can make changes to all of this information. Because maybe you're like, well, I don't talk like that. So then just change it. And then in the landing page, do these problems sound familiar to you? So in a landing page, you want to bring the pain point out of your audience. Do these problems sound familiar with you? Lack of sales, too many systems. And this is what I put in here. And of course, I can make changes to it. Lack of energy to run my systems in my business. Whatever. Lack of time, whatever it might be. So then I can save that information. Let's go ahead and look at so then it'll say success page. Fantastic, almost done. So this is the thank you page after somebody enters their information. And then let's go to the fun part, the email. Okay. My clients and I struggle with this email. They're like, what do I say? Okay. Just like my re-engagement camp script that I'm going to give you, which I need to probably run through this program as well, but you can run it through your scripting program. Great. Subject, download link for the 5 steps to networking. Thanks for requesting the 5 steps. We're excited to share this content with you because this is your ticket to stop leaving money on the table. Now that you have the free guide, here's what you need. We suggest take a few minutes today and tomorrow to unplug, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, and go through it. So it's just kind of reading through that information. A follow-up email, right? You need to send more than 1 email to people. The first email they may have not even seen or taken action. Okay, send them a reminder 24 hours. Have you found yourself thinking why follow-up process needs to be simplified? If so, you're going on the right track. I can make changes to this, and it gives me the link again for that. And then you can set up your system for maybe 24 hours after that. Hey, don't forget, I sent you that guide a few days ago. Did you take action on it? Thanks for your interest. It has some incredible information in it, so it gives you that script. Other things which is really, really cool and kind of a little bit newer added, it gives you some website calls to action that you can put on your website. So if you have, get instant access, want to stop leaving money on the table, our free guide to offer. So you don't have to just have that landing page, a standalone landing page. You can put a button on your website. And then it gives you a social media post, which is really cool. Who likes writing social media posts? You're like, I don't know what to say. Yeah, everybody shakes their head. No, I don't. Okay, this is why I don't do it, because I don't know what to say. I don't, and that stops me from growing my business. So this has really been, it's not a replacement for the text. I may not, kind of talk in this language necessarily, but I can tweak it and make changes to it. It gave me 5 different posting ideas. Sick and tired of thinking I don't have enough business? The answer: download the free guide to follow up 5 things to do after networking today. download now. But boom, your post is done. Create a cute little graphic in Canva and you're all set. There's also some email snippets for PS. You know, that's really great. This is just one of the many scripts and templates that are available in here. Okay. Cool, right? Aren't you glad you spent some time with me and Jean today and all of us? This is worth that valuable information. Some of this auto intelligence stuff can range anywhere from $5 a month to $150 a month. This is added into your Keap app and your subscription. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know if I chat. Did anybody say anything at all, Jean? I haven't seen anything. Okay. Questions. So in this time, let's see if I can. Does anybody have questions on this first?
Hold it. Yeah, I was muting myself because we had dogs barking. Let me look real quick here.
Okay.
First of all, those of you who have class, so my question is this scripting available in Mac Classic?
Yep.
Mac? It is?
Correct. It is, because I can just go to plays.keap.app, plays with an s.keap.app, and it'll ask me to log in. And I actually can, because you've given me admin access to your account, I can do this for you, basically. So, tells me it works in Classic. It's just not in the app itself.
Okay, you have to log in that way. Okay,
Yep.
plays.keap.
It's the fastest way to get to it.
Okay.
For those that have the other version, it is, some of them, it's an automation. Yeah. In some of the apps, it's because it's still technically in beta. It's under automation and my place if it's there. So I've seen apps that it's not in there for them yet.
Okay.
So
First of all, you have literally given so much information today, right? And about some of the new features that I'm not really familiar with, but one question here, Sandy. So can you go back to your emails marketing on this page right here?
yep, we can go back to
The emails.
emails. The follow-up
So-
emails.
Thank you. Where do you put in, how do you send those then? So where do you put in the date? Like because this is a lot different than Max Classic.
Yeah.
So where do you set the timer or whatever that is?
Yeah, so in
right?
here, it really is the layout. They don't have the connection to the automation yet necessarily in Classic.
Okay.
You have to sometimes copy and paste this into your automation, Jean.
Right. But I'm saying here, because I'm actually thinking about moving over to Keap. So,
Well, you want to move over to Pro. Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. Pro, but, where would, easy automation where you create it up
Create
there?
easy automation. Yeah, so two
Okay.
things. If you want to stay in Classic right now, you can just copy this information. There's a copy button on the right here.
Mhm.
Copy, open another screen, go into your automation like we were for this conference, and just set up your timers.
Got it. Okay.
That way. So it's a little bit more manual for you, but it's still, you can still do it manually.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not going to put all, your branding and stuff in it automatically for the landing page. But
Right.
for those that have the Classic, or the Pro and Max, you can download it in here. It'll create this information for you. Some of it's there. Again, it's still in beta, so they're still working on the process. But worst case, you just hit the copy button, you copy paste.
Awesome.
So it works.
So here's I want to say this too. Sandy, are you done with your presentation?
A little bit. Yep. Go ahead and just question Q&A.
What I really wanted to say about this is that Sandy gave so much better training than I ever got from a Keap trainer, right? And they might give you 2 or 3 hours when you sign up with Keap, you will not get what Sandy's giving you here. To me, it's a waste of time for the other Keap training. I would just come right to Sandy, and I'm not trying to sell Sandy's services. I'm just saying you won't get the kind of training that you will get from Sandy here. And I literally am blown away by how much you gave today. So thank you for that, for being so generous, because this is really a great training. I'm really glad that it's recorded. And for those of you, I said I would send it out. I will, because I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't keep up with my mind was literally blown, and I'm like looking stuff up. And by the time I looked it up, she's got 3 more things she's talked about. So I will go back to this training and watch it over and over for what I missed. So, all right, go ahead and finish though, because you have some stuff for them that I want.
I have, I didn't really talk about my back history, but I've got in corporate, I started, as a 21-year-old in corporate, and I says, oh, that's a computer. What can you do with it? I was curious, just like the kid that as growing up, I didn't take apart the radios and stuff like that. I never was like that. But in computers, I'm like, oh, really? You can do that? And then I started teaching. My boss says, oh, you should teach all of the other regional departments. So I went out and taught, we got a new computer system, and they had me teaching them. And their CEO, the corporate trainers from New York, they're like, who's this? I know more. She knows more than us. So I just have had training. I've been doing this for many, many, many years. And it's just my passion to train people. So my training is different. Yes, the Keap Academy is great. It's got some free information on there. It's got some videos, but sometimes you can watch 10 hours of videos and still not sure about it. My one-to-one training, get your questions answered on a couple of different levels of services. I think, Roger, did you have your hand up a little bit at all? No?
Yeah, kind of. It's just so much. I mean, I had a couple of trainings with the Keap people, and then somebody tried to sell me a package and all that stuff. But it's just so much. I mean, this is Infusionsoft on steroids squared.
It is
a much bigger plant.
Roger, are you using Infusionsoft?
No, I'm using Keap.
Yeah,
I've just started it. I'm just starting it. I'm getting ready to kick off my marketing, and I really want to figure this thing out, especially the automation.
So you guys, I put the wrong link in there before. Here it is right here with the special pricing. And you can request, I believe, Sandy, am I right? That when they buy this, they can request that you be their trainer. Is that correct?
No, they can't request that I'm a trainer. Go through the offer that Jean has, because she's a different type of a partner with Keap. She's an influencer. So her agreement is different than what I can offer. Absolutely. Get there free. They give you like 4 sessions for free. Take advantage of those and get the starting point done. But they're going to teach you way different than me. Doesn't mean you can't still come to me, but I can't offer it for free. Sorry. We're working on that on the back end to change that hopefully in 23. But with that said, definitely sign up for it. Give it, use the affiliate link. You can skip if you don't want their training. That's fine. They're just giving it to you for free. So it's good information to get your account set up. But I'm going to go way different in depth, and I train different than they do. And so I do have offers. I put in the chat my speaker card that I set up. It's a contact us speaker card. So go ahead and fill that out. I encourage you to fill that out, and you're going to see how automation works on the back end. You'll see my form, and then it'll ask you about different things. I have a 5-step giveaway, so I'm going to give you some more stuff. My 5-step to follow up after networking, my 25 things to automate as a solopreneur, and then my re-engagement script. So that's all done on the back end after a little bit of time. Other questions? Did I see any? No, I didn't see anybody. Thank you. I am needing to choose my first CRM. Great. And Amanda, you and I can talk a little bit if we want to about your CRM, and a little bit, if you have any additional questions, just let me know. I'll reach out to you too afterwards. I know we're coming up to that top of the 10:45. I'm certainly here to stay as long as Jean's available to keep us on with her schedule, since this is her Zoom. But I have a couple offers. So I work with clients one-to-one. I have a office hour. So if you already are in the app and you just have a question once in a while, you can hop on my office hours. My weekly, I set 1 hour a week that I'm available. People can just dial in and ask a question. But if you're really ready and serious about your business to launch it in 2023 and get you moving with the app, you've invested the time, you see the value of Keap. Now let's take and use the program. This is an amazing offer. Jean coached me through this pricing, and this price will never be offered again. Trust me, she will not let me do that. Those that know Jean, she's like, nope, it's got to be $1,800. So because it's 6 weeks. Go ahead, Jean.
Well, I just want to say that I really asked her to give you guys, listen, I always watch out for the people who follow me and my clients, and Sandy being a client and the people who follow me. I asked her, could we come up with a really good price? The price is $1,800. And then I'm like, yeah, but for my people, can we,
for my people, of course,
right, for my people, can we do something better? And my people, or whoever shows up on this thing, if you don't show up on here, you don't get this pricing, right?
Nope.
So
you gotta show up.
Right. And by the way, I just signed up. So you guys, in order to get her re-engagement campaign, I just want to make sure they know that they have to go there and click on the link. And I just put it again in there that said, I signed up so I could get the re-engagement. Not that I don't think she would have sent me, but I want to do it the right way for her, right?
Yeah,
And I
no.
signed up for everything else too.
Well, and the
So-
reason for that is it automates it. I don't have to manually do that, Jean. It does it for me. I don't have to take notes and now, oh, you know, Kelly asked for it and Chef Karen asked for it and Sherry, okay, well, I gotta write that down and now I gotta do it. And
Right.
it's done, right? That's
Right.
part of automation.
Yeah, so you guys, the holiday, I said it's a holiday, we're gonna do it before the holidays.
Yes.
It is special pricing. You will not get this price again. If you miss out on it today for let's say $600, it's a third of what she's charging. You're getting 66% off,
Yep.
right?
And then
So, yeah,
for those that want 2 payment plans that aren't quite sure, because I know Kelly asked about the pricing, it's going to be available through the weekend. So if you really need to, digest it over the weekend, on Sunday, it's at the midnight, it'll be done. But then also on the landing page, tinyurl.com, keep 6 week. I think it's case sensitive. There's a 2 payment option. So you get charged today, but you're going to pay a little bit more. And then you'll get charged in 30 days. With the
so
auto payment.
I'm just looking this up now. So, any questions for her?
Yes,
Because
last minute questions. I'll leave
Yeah,
this up. I
please
think I just said thank you.
don't miss out on this 6 weeks. Is it 6 week or 6 weeks? Oh, 6 weeks.
Oh, it is 6 weeks. I guess I forgot to ask.
That's okay. 6
Yep.
weeks. Okay.
It's a 6-week training course. So yeah, so we'll be meeting and everything
It's-
will be recorded if you can't miss one, if you miss one, and I'll start it again in February, relaunch it, but not at this price.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will put that in the cart. Yes, I will. Thank you for asking that. So you can just hyperlink it.
But by the way, it is not 6 weeks. It is 6 week.
It's for 6 weeks. Yeah. No,
No, there's no
Yeah,
S.
the
on the end of
URL,
week.
the
correct.
URL.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 weeks.
Grammar's so much fun, isn't it? I know.
But you have it right there at the bottom because I just checked and it just came up. So I was going to give them the price for a 2-pay.
Oh, perfect.
Where do I see? Oh, I need payment options and it's
Down at the bottom, it says payment options.
so
Yeah.
it's 2 payments of $349 if you want to do a 2-pay.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay a little bit more for it, but honestly, if that's the way you need to do it, there's lots of times I make a payment plan, right? So to get what I need.
And then I'm going to throw one more. I know the chat, save the chat, of course. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. You've got my contact information. Jean knows how to get a hold of me. Set up a time to meet with me. I have my calendar there. I'm kind of limited the next 2 weeks with the holidays, but I am available. And if you have questions, you can always email me and send me questions.
But did you talk about when the program starts? When does it
Yeah.
start?
Starts on January 4th at noon to 1:30, I believe,
Noon to 1:30, and then it's
Central
6
time.
weeks. 6 weeks.
Yeah. for the next 6 weeks.
Okay. All right. Any questions for her?
Yeah, last minute
I'm
questions. I
gonna
know.
stop sharing. Is that okay if I
Yep,
stop
I can
sharing?
stop
so we
sharing. Yeah,
So we
absolutely.
can see.
Yeah, this is just a curiosity question. One of the things I heard Darren present on this, and he said there were 2 phone numbers you get,
Yes. Yep.
and nobody's talked about that since then.
No, I didn't talk about that. There was just so much. I can only get squeezed in
Yeah,
so many
yeah, I
things.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's free,
you
right?
get
This
a,
is what you're getting for free.
yeah, but there is a business line. So you get a business phone number, a regular, with your local area code number, and then you get a text messaging number. So there's a text messaging, like an 888 number or 844 number. So Keap has text messaging in the Pro and the Max version. So you can send out text messages for free, or
What's-
you get 150 with your program, and they've now reduced the price from 14 cents, I think, additional to 0.05 cents, I believe. So it's half the price if you go over that 150.
What's
How
the
do you
difference
find the phone numbers?
You have to go in there and go into marketing. It's
Okay.
under your, you set it up. There's a process for it.
What is the difference between Pro and Max?
Max gives you more contacts, or not more contacts. It gives you more text messaging. And then the shopping cart, you get to do like a bump up for a little bit more. In the Pro, you just get to have one item. In the Max, you can do, hey, do you want to buy this? Kind of a bump up product offering. It's a little bit
Like a
different.
funnel?
It's called it's called a bump. in a sales bump, meaning that, hey, don't forget, you can also buy this. So if I wanted to offer you this special, I could say, hey, and don't forget, you can buy this too. And it's an additional price type of a thing.
Oh,
So the
that's cool. Okay.
checkout is different. That's the
Okay.
biggest difference between the two.
Lynn, Lynn asked me a question. You have Keap Grow. So you are like a step down from Keap Pro, which has the automation piece in it, so that you can automate this stuff. So does the Keap Grow have the scripting and things in there too, Sandy?
So she's got the Grow, which was
Yeah.
they came out with that just like for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's probably the light version.
Yeah, it's a light
That
version.
I don't know. We can talk about that. I'm not sure what's all in that version. I've never been in that yet.
Okay. All right.
Are
Any
you looking,
questions?
Kelly's saying that, oh, you're helping her with the 3 dots for the, dots to the far right. Oh, for the save chat. I saved the chat too. So if anybody needs that, can always get that from Gina or myself. Good
Thank you
questions,
very much.
Les. You're
This is
welcome,
very good.
Roger.
All right. Any other questions? I don't want you to leave here and then go, oh, I wish I would have asked that, right? I want to and I will send you the chat. You can save the chat if you want, but I will save the chat too and include that in the email I send you out with the video from today, because I think this was probably, honestly, Sandy, I think this is probably the best training that I've offered anybody this year, and I didn't even do it. So high five for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful holiday, and we will see you on January 4th at my class.
All right. Talk to you
All right.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.